You are now tuned in to Go Time Dolphins with Charlie Touche and Kadeem Simmons, the Miami Dolphins podcast that's for the fans and by the fans.
Gotta make them lose their mind when it's your time. And it's show time. Going all out when it's go time. I ain't wasting no time. Gotta make them lose their mind when it's show time. Cause it's your time. Lay it on the line when it's go time. Don't waste no time.
We did not go into hiding. We didn't give up. We are still here and we are back. Sorry for the delay. Sorry for not getting back to you a lot sooner, but there was so much to go over. Last time we were here on Go Time Dolphins, we were previewing the Bills wildcard game, and obviously we all know what happened after. Before we delve into a lot of stuff that we need to get into, make sure you drop a like on the video, comment on the video, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Give us a follow on Instagram, TikTok, Twitter, all the good stuff. And if you're feeling generous, then subscribe over at patreon.com/GoTimeDolphins. Haven't said this in a while, but Charlie Touche, how are you?
Bro, I think I got a spot on my camera. Like,
That's
you see that right there? You see that?
No.
You don't see it?
No.
You don't see it?
I genuinely don't know.
It's Go Time Dolphins, the Miami Dolphins podcast that goes not only across the pond, but across the world. I'm your boy, Charlie Touche. Got my co-host, Kadeem Simmons, with me. It's always for the fans and by the fans. Your favorite podcast. Woo! The Miami Dolphins were eliminated from playoff contention. We were knocked off by the Kansas City Chiefs. I was at Arrowhead Stadium, Kadeem. I went there, and I'm going to be real with you. I'm going to be honest. I was there at like 7 o'clock in the morning. Maybe like 7 o'clock in the morning. And there was people in line ready to tailgate. And I ain't going to lie, I was like, this is not good. When I seen that, and it was below zero, I like, nah, bro, this is not normal. You know what I'm saying? And, you know, we're going back a little bit to talk about the game because something that I want to get out there is never, ever will we ever run from a fight, bro. Like, Dolphins lose, we hear y'all come at us, y'all come see us, y'all talk. Like, we're here for it. You know what I'm saying? Last season, Kadeem was on a cruise, and we didn't do a playoff. We didn't do the end to the playoff episode. I had to do it by myself. This year, I was out of town, and we couldn't do an episode at the end of the game. And it's like, dang, Kadeem could have did it by himself, but it's like, nah, bro. Like, we have to be here for this. You know what I'm saying? So we're going to talk about all that, and we're going to talk about what's to come, what happened, and all the good stuff, Kadeem. What you got?
So we have 2 comments so far. Thankfully, so far. Robert Ashton says, "Hi guys, missed you. Did you have to throw Charlie out?" And then the second comment, don't know if we're going to get into it, but Jason Keck says, and shout out to Jason, says they should have traded up for Sam Laporta instead of a useless cornerback that saw little to no time on the field. Laporta was a major contributor for the Lions. Injuries were still a major factor as well. I don't know if you want to get into the lack of time we saw with Cam Smith, all that kind of stuff. But what I will say very quickly, 1, Cam Smith wasn't useless. 2, there's no telling that even if he had traded up to get Sam Laporta, he would have had the same impact in Miami. Like, just because Sam Laporta done well in Detroit, it might not have worked in Miami. Like, this system over the last 2 years hasn't really called out for a tight end, if that makes sense. Mike McDaniel has relied heavily on Jalen Waddle and Tyreek Hill. Tight end at the moment doesn't seem like it's going to be of much use in the system, but it's a valid point, or it's a valid opinion to have. And then Jason Kidd goes on to say depth was a real weakness as well in a few positions. But Charlie, was there anything you want to get into in terms of the Sam Laporta, Cam Smith stuff?
No, not at the top of the podcast. I feel like we have an obligation to talk about the game first. Like, I feel like we have an obligation to talk about the game. I think I don't know if it's my earpiece or if it's your microphone. If you could double check your mic settings, your connections. I'm getting a little static from your mic. Maybe it's just me, maybe it's not, but just double check. So here's the thing. Let's go to the Chiefs game. Let's talk about how we lost. Let's talk about our expectations. Let's talk about the reactions. Let's hit the Chiefs game head on and own it. I wish we could have did this the same day, basically. So here's the thing. There were some things that happened in the game where I'm like, this is odd. And I remember at the beginning of the year, Kadeem, I was like, yo, I absolutely trust Coach McDaniel in the playoff game. That's what I said before the season started. I'm like, yo, I absolutely trust Coach McDaniel in the playoff game. I heard him on a podcast. I'm like, oh, he's locked in. We're not going to get the same coaching woes that we got in our first playoff game. And then we get to this playoff game, and it's like same coaching woes and worse and more. You know what I'm saying? It's like, yo, how come we not letting Tua throw the ball? You know what I'm saying? And it kind of felt like, is it because he doesn't trust Tua to throw it in these conditions? Or is it this is the game plan? You know what I'm saying? It was very odd to see the offense dialed back. Like it's like we had this supersonic offense for the entire season. And when it mattered the most, he was unwilling to take the risk in the conditions or in the game or in the play calling. And I don't think we will ever know the truth. You're going to have one side say, oh, because he doesn't believe Tua could throw in that weather or he could deliver in that weather. And then you're going to have people who say, well, maybe he overthought it. You know what I'm saying? So what did you make of the play calling and the way the game panned out?
Apologies if I do sound echoey. I'm trying to work it out right now. Don't know what it is. Hopefully it sorts itself out because I can't fix it at the moment. I think heading into the game, everyone said the play calling has to be run the ball, run the ball, run the ball. The conditions were not conducive for a team that wants to throw the ball. I disagree in terms of the Dolphins had a supersonic offense throughout the entire season. I think it kind of hit a point about week 10, week 11, just after the bye.
Yeah,
and the team and the offense is kind of
the identity. The identity changed. Like, what's going on here? We're not the greatest show on surf anymore, like we were the first 10 weeks.
I think I said this in the preview show, and everyone was talking about being too, doomy and gloomy. I think injury just took a toll. I think, like, even we played the offensive line all season in terms of, keeping Tua upright and all the good stuff. Tua still needs to get the ball out in under like 2 seconds, or under 3 seconds. That's an okay offensive line, but like there's a clip from Brock Purdy in the last game for the 49ers played, where Brock Purdy drops back, had time to take his hand off the ball, wipe his hand, and then put his ball. Like, that's time in the pocket. Like, Lamar Jackson has time in the pocket. Tua doesn't have time in the pocket. He has to still get the ball out just as quick because the offensive line was banged up. Raheem Mostert was playing injured that last game. And again, it's not excuses, it's facts. The Dolphins were banged up. And to go into those essentially freezing cold conditions to try and beat a Chiefs team, which once they get to the playoffs are just a complete different beast. I just think he tried to be a bit too conservative. There were still times where the Dolphins probably could have gone downfield, but I think it got to a point over the last month or two where it was a lot more, I guess, safe. I'm going to pass it back to you. We're going to get some comments after that. I'm going to try and fix this microphone.
So I'm going to be clear. We should have run the ball more. We could have run the ball more. But once running the ball wasn't an option any longer and we had to get back in the game is what I'm talking about. Go ahead, Kadeem.
Is that better?
Way better. Way better.
So yeah, the mic wasn't on. It was going through the laptop. So I apologize for that.
Bro.
Sorted.
Bro, when I say it sounds like a mic issue, the first thing it isn't. Let's see if it's on. Like, that's not.
I did, and I saw Shure microphone, but that was the output. The input was default laptop mic. So I apologize. But yeah, it's all sorted. Listen, it's been a week and a half. Like, let me off.
So anyway, Yeah, so you got to get back in the game. You got to throw your way back in the game. So here's the thing, and we had to go all the way back. I had notes, and I wish we got this out during the first episode after the game, or immediately after the game, where we're running the ball. It's successful, and it's like a 3rd and 1, I want to say, and then we get a penalty. Becomes 3rd and 6. Is no longer 3rd and 1, and at that time, I really genuinely believe we would have went for it on 4th and 1 if we didn't get it on 3rd and 1. So 3rd and 1, you get a penalty, back it up to 3rd and 6, and Tua throws a pick, right? So I don't want to call it inconsequential because you gave him a short field. Last thing you want to do is give the Chiefs a short field in the playoffs. What you could have done is obviously punt it back if you're not going to go for it on 4th and 6. I doubt you're going to go for it on 4th and 6 now. You would have went for it on 4th and 1. You lost that opportunity. So yeah, put them back, pin them back, all the good stuff. Here's my thing. I want to be clear about these injuries and excuses and not excuses, because I think I said on the podcast, there's a difference between an excuse and a reason. You know what I'm saying? Like if I'm late to work and someone say, "Hey, bro, why are you late to work?" By the way, I gotta address this. Shout out to everyone on YouTube checking us out. I'm in a different setting. I'm not in the setting that I'm usually at. I'm not home, and you're probably looking at like, "Yo, where this man at?" I'm still in the cold, freezing in the cold. You know what I'm saying? Like it's crazy out here. So I'm not in the setting. So and I'll get to that in a second. So if I get to work and I'm late, and I say my alarm didn't go off, you know what I'm saying, bro? That's not a reason why you didn't make it to work, because that's on you, bro. Like you gotta fix that. You know what I'm saying? Like you gotta make it to work. That's an excuse why you late. You feel me? Oh, my alarm didn't go off. Nah, bro, that's an excuse. If you're snowed in and can't get out the door of your crib, that's not an excuse. That's the reason why you can't make it to work. You see what I'm saying? Now, you could dispute that or not. Maybe I'm a little off here with the definition of excuses and reasons, but I think I'm pretty accurate. That being said, I believe as a football mind, there are no excuses. You line up 11 people on offense, you line up 11 people on defense, you got to find a way to do it. If you don't, then the team beats you and you lost. There's no excuses. However, the reason why we cannot put up a formidable, while we cannot put up we could not put up the type of fight that we wanted to put up against this opponent is because we were down so many players. And there is no doubt in my mind, and anybody can at me and say, "Oh, you got excuses." And I'll be like, "Okay, that's fair." But I guarantee, and I think we said this before, I guarantee that people's expectations absolutely changed when we went down so many players. Like you did not look at the game. You did well, no, actually, yeah, you're right, because some people's expectations didn't change. Some people thought we were still going to be
very much.
like, I don't know how you thought your expectations were going to stay the same when you're down 6 starters on defense. I don't know how you had those expectations. So they should have changed. They should have been like, "Yo, it is unrealistic to assume we would get the same production from people who were not even on the roster at the beginning of the season as the same production you pay someone $150 million to do." So if they didn't change, that was on that person's expectations. That was on that person. If you listen to and I'm gonna give it to you, Kadeem. If you listen to the press conference of Coach McDaniel and Chris Greer at the end, at the end of the season, it was pretty clear. Chris Greer was like, bro, and sometimes you get the injury bug early. And then it's early in the season, and it's like, dang, bro, our season's grits because we got injuries. We didn't get that this year. We got it late. Like, yeah, Ramsey was out early, but we got the injury bug late. How do you go from the power rankings as the top 4 teams in the NFL, greatest show on surf, Miami Dolphins, look at H-Han, look at Tua's MVP candidacy again, back-to-back years of Tua possibly being MVP. Tyreek Hill could be the MVP. How you go from all of that to blow it up? How you do that, Kadeem? You know what I'm saying? So I'm gonna let you have the floor, bro. But I had to get a couple of those names out.
No worries. So shout out to all the people in the chat. Cap for Life says, gentlemen. Robert Ashton, saying that was a bit echoey. Cap said, God does not like ugly. This team's arrogance came back to haunt them at the end when it mattered the most. He adds, we could have been playing at home instead of the end of the season in Antarctica. Hannah Montana says, evening, lads. Cap says, the greatest show on turf turned to Titanic real quick. Hannah says, nice hat, Cads. This hat I got as a Christmas present. I saw Tua wear this once on the sideline. I was like, I need it.
It is a nice hat.
And
the dopest Tua picture I ever seen was in that hat. Like, and I need that picture, and I can't find it. Like, I seen it, and I don't have it available to grab for myself, but it's a dope picture. But that is a dope hat. Shout out to Hannah.
We'll definitely try and find it. Robert Ashton says penalties have been a recurring theme throughout the season, particularly away from home. Cap says excuses, train coming through all aboard. Charlie made a point. Jason Keck said that you're good, and then said 1,000% Charlie. Some people are allergic to facts. Cap says we had more injuries last season. Correct me if I'm wrong. He then says we had no running backs and no offensive line 2 years ago as well. The angry excuse is typical at this point. Jason Keck disagrees. Shout out to IMAX, says, what's up, Kadeem, Charlie, and chat. Hooked Up Joe says, fins up. And then, Cap and Jason are still talking in the chat. I think, listen, other teams have injuries. Like the Texans suffered multiple injuries. The Browns were down to like the fourth quarterback. Like, no one's saying that the Dolphins were the only team to have injuries. I think, and again, the reason I was so down on the Dolphin chances in the playoffs was that you can suffer injuries. 1 or 2 injuries, you can say next man up. I'm completely fine with that. 3 or 4 injuries, you can kind of still say, okay, yeah, cool, next man up. When you're missing so many players, and we don't need to get through, the entire injury list that the Dolphins had, but it gets to a point where next man up, when you've got like your 3rd and 4th string guys in key positions, like even just for as a prime example,
key positions is the terminology right there. It's not just how many you lost; it's the key positions. But go ahead.
Like, I understand people will say the Dolphins are paying Emmanuel Ogbah money, and they are. They gave him a contract. That's completely fine. But the Dolphins still went into that game without the top 2 starters at defensive end in Jalen Phillips and friend of the podcast, Bradley Chubb. Then lost Andrew Van Ginkel. And you're saying for that Dolphins defense, and then people will be like, well, Christian Wilkins wants a contract. Yes, he does. Zach Sealer's being paid. But you still need a front 4 unit. And the Dolphins didn't have that front 4 unit. We talk about the struggles the offense had in general. This is a Miami Dolphins offense which Tyreek Hill and Jalen Waddle were hobbling on one leg, essentially. They didn't have that explosive speed, all of that kind of stuff. The offensive line was banged up. Robert Hunt was 100%. Teron Armstead is Teron Armstead. They were down their starting center, and their backup center was also injured and isn't the best at center, but that's neither here nor there. Their left guard had been missing for so long. Like, that's essentially you're missing 2 starters. 2 of your starters are banged up. Like, you're asking a lot of guys to play through injury, and that's all great. But there comes a point where you go, do you know what? It's one of those things where I'm not gonna say the Dolphins done well to get to the playoffs, because if they handled things better throughout the season, like someone said earlier, the Dolphins don't play in Kansas City. They play in Miami, and it's a whole different issue. But it is what it is. The Dolphins got dealt. So you can say.
No, yeah, I'm okay. I'm okay with people coming at me for, oh, you got excuses about injuries. I'm okay with it, because I'm gonna tell you why. Obviously, Jalen Waddle barely made it on the field. He was hurt. Tyreek Hill, everyone knew he was limping the past 5 games, limping through the games, but still managed to do backflips at touchdowns. I don't appreciate that. You know what I'm saying? So hear me out. And then, we had the second most line combinations in the NFL. But hear me out. Here's my thing. When someone comes at us and says, oh, you guys got excuses, you got to win the games, and everybody's hurt, everybody's dealing with injuries, right? I would say you're right. Now imagine your team going through it, missing these starting players, like whether it's 2 DNs, a starting safety, a corner, and both of your 1 and 2 receiver being hurt. Like, and then let's see how that pans out for you. You know what I'm saying? So if they do come at us, I'm okay with it. And then I'll ask them about that same question. So, and ultimately, your team lost healthy. That's crazy that your team lost healthy and we lost not healthy, and we're in the same situation. So now what? You know what I'm saying? So I'm okay. A loss is a loss. At the end of the day, there's one winner, and it's the winner of the Super Bowl. And I'm gonna be real with you. For anyone who thought Chris Greer was on a hot seat, bro, like, you don't put the best team ever in the franchise on the field, put it together. This is another thing. Real quick, Kadeem. I like this. And how about this? Imagine I give you a budget. All right. And I'm like, Kadeem, bro, you got this budget. We'll just call it $100,000 budget. And you cooking stuff up with this $100,000 budget. And I'm happy with what you're doing. You know what I'm saying? Like, and we're talking about food, actually chefing it up. Although Kadeem is no chef. So Kadeem's chefing it up with this $100,000 budget. He's my personal chef. I'm like, I'm happy with your services, Kadeem. And then this budget goes from 100 bands to $50, right? I'm like, Kadeem, bro, you're not performing as well as I need you to perform. You know what I'm saying? Like, what happened to all the good stuff? You'll be like, yo, the information has changed. The circumstances have changed. You cannot expect me to deliver what I did with $100,000 budget with a $50 budget, right? That's fair, right?
Yeah.
When you go to Coach McDaniel, all right, it is the same thing. Chris Greer delivered in his job. All right. So if the coach underperforms, it's the responsibility of the organization to identify where the lack is coming from. So anyone at Chris Greer, I just think, is misled and just not seeing with their eyes, in my opinion. You know what I'm saying? Nothing should go on Chris Greer. More should go on the coach, right? Because you can't be looking at a play sheet, talking into the microphone, putting in plays, and the play, you know, the earpiece goes out at 15 seconds, and you still reading the play on TV, reading the play after 15 seconds, like, and the people, and we still in the huddle, like, bro, get the play out, bro. Like, we've been through this for multiple seasons now. You know what I'm saying? So, but I'm not saying get rid of them. I'm just saying, yo, it's ridiculous to be going through the same thing. So back to this budget thing, right? So you got to identify where the issue is. I do not believe the issue is at the GM. I do believe we have a issue with the coach, with the plays coming in on time. Do I believe we have an issue with Coach McDaniel being a play caller? I've seen this on the internet. Oh, he shouldn't be the play caller. Oh, really? One of the best play callers in the league got us to have one of the best offenses in the league. And all of a sudden, you think you're going to have someone else come in and call better plays and get us further than Coach McDaniel did, as opposed to having him work on it? How does that logic work, Kadeem? Where you have one of the best play callers in the league, one of the best offenses in the league, and statistically one of the best quarterbacks in the league, statistically, and yet you want a different play caller. Oh, no, we got to get a better play caller. Like, I think people are too emotional when it comes, and which is fair, but I think it's misguided emotions. Like, bro, y'all not even assessing this thing accurately and the way it needs to be assessed. Y'all just spewing out frustration, and that's not healthy.
So there's quite a few comments which I kind of want to expand on, but also kind of read through them. So Brett Story over on Twitter says 10 times out of 10 teams in the conference championship games are relatively healthy. NFL season is a grind.
Shout out to Story.
100%. Hooked up Joe
says,
that's
the average white guy.
Yeah.
Shout out to the average white guy.
Hooked up Joe says, I put a lack of offensive line on Chris Greer. Not having a backup center is ridiculous, and I have been a Greer fan. And I think at that point, like when Williams got hurt the first time and the Dolphins moved Eichenberg to center, people were like, dude, just go get center. Like this this is stupid to not have a backup center, and Liam Eichenberg cannot be a backup center. So that's one of the things where, yeah, better planning throughout the season to some of the injuries. Yeah, I do think that does come down to Chris Greer, but also it comes down to coaching, because at some point, Mike McDaniel and the coaches will looked at it and said, "We believe in the guys we have. We don't need to spend our resources on a center." I disagree with that decision, but that's the decision that they made. I don't think ultimately it backfired, but it's one of the many things and a long line of things which meant the Dolphins were one and done in the playoffs for the second year in a row. There's also something, and I don't know if you still want to talk about the Chiefs game, but a lot of the conversation after the playoff loss was, that's it. Tua's had his time. He needs to go. I know we're going to spend.
That is my favorite. That's my favorite, bro. You know, this is my favorite one right here.
Like, I know we're going to spend a lot in the summer, because people have opinions. People are going to come on the show saying Tua needs to go. Shout out to the same old Dolphins show. I haven't had time to get to it yet, but the recent episode is what to do with Tua. Now, we've sat here and said, when Tua gets the extension, because he will, people are going to lose their mind and it's going to be the end of the world. I can understand a logic, which is, well, Tua hasn't won a playoff game yet. And then when he loses that playoff game, he's 0-1, saying, that's it, I don't believe in him. He's never going to take the Dolphins that far. Before I pass it over to you, what's very interesting is that before the playoffs, once the Dolphins had lost, before the Lions had played, people said Tua is an equivalent to Jared Goff in LA, in terms of he got him to a Super Bowl but couldn't get it done. The Rams bring in Matt Stafford, he wins the Super Bowl. Jared Goff, goes to Detroit, all the good stuff. Jared Goff is in the NFC Championship game right now. So for those who say that Tua is Jared Goff, give me a quarterback that in his career gets to a Super Bowl, is on the verge of getting to another Super Bowl, and is essentially I'm just going to sound very condescending, but sometimes with quarterbacks, you put a good system around them and they flourish. And Detroit are a somewhat healthy team in a bad NFC and are winning games. In my opinion, it's not an excuse. It's not all of this stuff. Give me a Dolphin that is 75% healthy against any team in the NFL in the playoffs, and they have a standing chance. That's my opinion.
I ain't gonna lie. I think the Detroit Lions are very healthy, actually. Shout out to Cap for Life said the burrito broke apart. I love that comment. That's funny. Brother, the Tua gotta go people are the funniest to me, though. I ain't gonna lie. They're the funniest. And shout out to Story. We were talking. Me and Brett Story was talking, and he's a 49ers fan. Shout out to the 49er fan that listened to the Go Time Dolphin podcast. We appreciate all y'all. We got Bills fans that rock with us. We appreciate y'all. We got a lot of fans in here. You about to say something, Kadeem?
Did you see after the Bills game, the Bills fans in our mentions on YouTube?
No, I didn't.
They were in the comments, ha, you lost, all that kind of stuff. I was like, you know what? Is what it is. Shout out to the Bills. Let me know how your Super Bowl goes this season. Like, I'm waiting.
So let's get back to Tua real quick. How many playoff appearances Justin Herbert got, Kadeem?
1.
How many playoff victories? How many playoff victories Justin Herbert got, Kadeem?
0, I think.
How many 28-point leads in the playoffs did Justin Herbert squander?
1.
I'm just saying, bro. How much money does Justin Herbert make? $52 million. I didn't think he was gonna get that one. He was on a roll, but I didn't think he was gonna get it. $52 million a year, bro. 52. You know what I'm saying? So for anyone who said, "Oh, this guy didn't win nothing in playoffs," and bro, listen, man, that's not what this is. That's not MVP candidate. You remember the last 4 MVP candidates of the season? Tua, Tyreek Hill, Dak Prescott, and Lamar Jackson. I'm not tripping, right? I'm not tripping, right?
I think that's pretty much it.
Like, bro, this is a legit conversation. Tua had concussions last year, MVP candidate, Pro Bowl candidate, didn't play in the Pro Bowl, 2 back-to-back Pro Bowls. I'm not. We're not gonna have the conversation right now, but I just think it's like, well, Story brought up, well, what's up with how come everybody come at Brock Purdy? Like, you know what I'm saying? Everybody at Brock Purdy dome. It's crazy how they are. And I told Story this, and I'll elaborate a little bit. I don't think we went from we need a quarterback, right? And we found a quarterback. We got a quarterback. In my opinion, we got a quarterback. To, well, he's not it somehow. I don't know what that means. But check me out, Kadeem. I don't think people just want a quarterback. And I understand people want to win. We want the Super Bowls. We want the championship. I get that. I don't think they just want a quarterback, though. I think they want like a celebrity. I think they want a superstar. You know what I'm saying? Because Josh Allen ain't winning no games. He's not winning no championships. You see what I'm saying? But everybody, oh, Josh Allen's better than Tua. We need Josh Allen. To do what? To lose before the Super Bowl too? Like, it's not like he's winning Super Bowls. Hold on. I got to do this. Hold on. I got to do this. So it's like, what are you talking about? Like Justin Herbert? This is who we talking about? Let's do contemporaries. We talking about Justin Herbert. We talking about Jalen Hurts. You know, these are Tua's contemporaries. You feel me? So you're telling me, oh, you want Justin Herbert or Jalen Hurts over Tua? The Eagles' collapse this season was worse than the Dolphins' collapse this season, and Jalen Hurts was there for all of it. The Cowboys collapse, the Jaguars collapse. Let's bring in Trevor Lawrence before this man gets to some pass. You know what I'm saying?
He very quick on Trevor Lawrence. He was injured for the past month. If we're going to talk about injuries,
hold up. Before he was injured, hold up. You know how many games the Jaguars lost? Like I think the Jaguars lost 5 of 6, and I want to be. It was either 5 or 6 or 4 of their last 5. Herbert was hurt for the last 2 of those. Though you can't. You don't let him get off the hook. Don't let him get off the hook. Hold up.
Lawrence was injured for a month.
Hurts 2 of those. Like we can go back. You know what? We'll do this on another episode, but we'll go down. We got all off season now, boy. 1, 2, 3 Cancun. We got all off season to figure it out, bro. Jalen Hurts. I think the Eagles lost like the last 6 of 7 with Jalen Hurts at the helm. So for everyone coming at Tua's dome and then saying we need a different quarterback and then point at Hurts or Herbert or whoever his contemporaries are, y'all not making no sense. And by the way, those quarterbacks make over $50 million a year, by the way. You know what I'm saying? So I'm here for it. We got all off season, and bruh, you know what? This might be the first time we get some Go Time Dolphins history, and we just let people come on the podcast and holler at us. Like, yo, y'all come on the podcast, chop it up with us, and vent. Go ahead and vent. Tell us why you don't want Tua, and we'll have the conversation. And let's put it out there for the world to see it. Like, for real, because it's foolishness. So hold up real quick. I'm going to let you go. I think they want the celebrity. I think they you know what I'm saying? They don't like, because Purdy's not like, he's not loquacious. You know what I'm saying? He's not talkative. He's not in the media. He's not doing 100 million commercials. You know what I'm saying? And I think that's what people want. They don't want just the quarterback. They want the flamboyant commercial quarterback that's the face of the NFL type thing. Because your quarterback should have had 5,000 yards passing this year if 7 of the games weren't won out of proportion. The wins, I said 7 of the wins weren't out of proportion. So he entered the season with 4,600 passing yards. 4,600 passing yards. Should have had 5,000. And everybody on this 5,000 list is going to the Hall of Fame with the exception of 2 people. And Tua should have been on that list this year. Go ahead, Kadeem.
So I think in terms of what, so and again, I said on social media, and I'm sure we'll get this on the podcast as well. If you are part of the group that want Tua to be replaced, that's your opinion. That is fine. Let us know who you want to replace Tua with. So that's the first thing. So
that's
people
it
said
right
just
there.
so
who replace replace them with who? Bring a name. Don't just say replace them. Bring a name straight up.
So I saw people say Justin Fields, and I think with Justin Fields, it's because he can scramble. I think all the people that don't fit, all the people who want Tua to be replaced want a quarterback who can scramble, and I can understand. It's brilliant. It's fun. Like, you know, nothing there. Oh, I'm going to run at the pocket and scramble. That's fine. Quarterbacks in the modern era need to be able to, you know, produce off script and be able to, you know, essentially run and stuff like that. But and I said something on social media, but can they execute in a system? Because if you're scrambling, it means you're not passing. And if that's if you want a scrambling quarterback in the nicest way possible, just run the wildcat. Just put Devon H at that running back and just run the ball. You might as well do that. So for anyone who, and I'm not even taking a mic, genuinely, if you want to be replaced, that's your opinion, but let me know who. I saw someone who is on a Dolphins YouTube show, spent the season trashing Josh Allen, and then in the Steelers game, when he made that like 52-yard run, go, oh, I want Josh Allen. And I think so many Dolphins fans just want a quarterback who can win the playoffs, win a playoff game. Because if we're being totally honest, Lamar Jackson, who is one game away from a Super Bowl, came into this playoffs 1-3 in the playoffs. 1-3. So for how good Lamar Jackson is and how he's playing now, if Lamar Jackson was in Miami and had a 1-3 playoff record, get him out of here. He's gone. Don't want him no more. Like, it's, and again, I get it. It's frustrating. Dolphins now have the longest losing record or loser streak in the playoffs. I totally get it. But again, come up, like, give me an opinion.
Kadeem, bro.
Give me a name.
Kadeem, I'm so upset with you because you my dog and I love you. And you took everything I wanted to say, bro. Like, and not only did I want to say it, I was gonna wait for the quarterback episode to say that. I was putting it on ice, like the Justin Fields conversation. How about this, Kadeem? We can't let Josh Allen off the hook because he has unlocked a new glitch. Typically, when the game's on the line, dog would throw the what kind of pass is that? You know what I'm saying? And it's usually like a pick, or he'll fumble on the 1-yard line twice in 2 minutes of a football 2 minutes. It's the wildest glitches. Like, dang, watch him glitch. He's gonna glitch. It's coming, right? Josh Allen, and y'all could clip this. Josh Allen is Cam Newton and Brett Favre mixed. Unbelievable talent. Clip that and stop it right there. Then clip this. But at the end of a game that matters, he's not going to get it done, and he's going to one-hop a pass to a wide-open receiver in the end zone, or he's going to throw a pick, or he's going to fumble on the 1-yard line or the goal line, or he's going to just glitch. So you can have all the glamour, bro. You could have the glamour. You could have Brett Favre and Cam Newton in one body of Josh Allen, which is spectacular. But he's going to glitch, bro. So what is that good for? You know what I'm saying? It's not, bro. The man was wide open in the end zone of a playoff game to go put you into the AFC Championship, and he one-hopped them, Kadeem. One-hop, bro. If Tua would have one-hopped the wide open receiver, you know what I'm saying? Like, going to the playoff, to the AFC Championship, if they came at Tua's parents after this playoff loss, what do you think they would have did to Tua if he would have one-hopped Tyreek Hill wide open in the end zone? People, dog, and I got to put this on the record. I said I think the Dolphins might have one of the worst fan bases, and I am putting my stamp of approval on it. The Dolphins have the second worst fan base in the NFL. The worst is the Eagles, but the Dolphins have the second worst fan base in the NFL. We have allegedly, Kadeem, murdered 2 people, bruh. Literally, allegedly, killed 2 people, a Patriots fan and a Bills fan, bro, over football, and then go after the quarterback's parents. This is ludicrous, dog. This is stupidity. You know what I'm saying? Like, it is the wildest thing. There is a part of me, and I said this in the Flores era, where I was like, I'm at the point where I hope Tua leaves the team and finds another team that appreciates him for who he is and he flourishes. I ain't saying I hope the Dolphins don't be nothing. Hold on. I'm not saying I hope the Dolphins don't be nothing because I need my team to win, but it is ridiculous the way the fan base hits up to it.
Well, I was just going to say, so
MVP candidate, by the way. Go ahead.
So Cap says, Charlie, for me, what doesn't make sense is rewarding failure, plain and simple. So again, I'm in no way comparing Ryan Tannehill and Tua Tagovailoa. I'm not doing that. The Dolphins probably should have got rid of Ryan Tannehill 2 years before they did. But what did Ryan Tannehill do when he left Miami and went to Tennessee? Got him to the playoffs, and Ryan Tannehill at the moment currently has a 2-3 playoff record. Ryan Tannehill left the Dolphins to a system that suited him a lot better, a fan base that didn't hate him essentially, and flourished. And another comment from Cap, and I'm not getting at Cap, it's just trying to get through comments, and he says something else as well. Cap says, Jason, that's the new narrative I'm hearing now. So Jason Keck says, you can't count the first 2 years where you had just come off a major injury and a piece of crap head coach. Sorry. Cap for Life replies saying, Jason, that's the new narrative I'm hearing now. That's the ultimate damage control. He has only been in the system for 2 years. Let me guess, next year he'll still be a rookie, right? That's a fact. Dan, Tua has been in the system for 2 years.
But hold on. I'm okay though. Like I'm not for Cap to say that. I'm okay with that. I'm okay with him saying, "No, that's not an excuse that it's 2 years." Like here's my thing. It's only one team that wins a Super Bowl. So if you lose, and I want to adjust both of these comments, and I'm gonna adjust what you just said too briefly. It's not about the torches coming out because Tua is a great quarterback or not a great quarterback. The torches come out and we lost. Here's my thing, Kadeem, is why can't you just lose and be like, dang, we're close. We just got to work on some things. Why can't people just do that? Like, dang, we're gonna be all right. We're close. Look at this. There's some circumstances here. Oh, we're gonna overcome this. You know what I'm saying? Like, we're gonna be all right here. Like, we're close. It's just a loss. You know what I'm saying? It's not like we're the Cleveland Browns of 30 years where they ain't never gonna figure this out, bro. We have a trajectory now. You know what I'm saying? We have a playoff team. We made it to the playoffs twice. We have an MVP candidate. We have the best offense in the league. Like, literally, like, the trajectory is going the right way. Why is it? Nope, it's not good enough. Burn it all down. Best offense of the league. MVP candidate. One of the best play callers. Like, burn it all down. Like, I don't understand that. So Cap, I think both of those dudes are right. Cap and Jason K. They can be right in their own right for sure. But I'm just saying, when we lose, it can't just be a loss. It has to be burn it down. And I don't understand that part of it. How do you burn it down when you see the results are trending in the right direction?
So again, Cap kind of mentioned Justin Fields. We mentioned him earlier. So Cap says Justin Fields just took the Chicago team in the last 7 years with his feet. So the last 7 games with his feet alone, to the point that their coach is getting hired full time. He has no weapons, but DJ Moore, let's be real, he's a threat. Our quarterback needs to become a dual threat. I know we can do it. He did it against Arizona at 1.3 years ago. So two things very quickly. Tua can be a dual threat quarterback. We've seen him escape the pocket, all that kind of good stuff. People also say Tua needs to protect himself and, don't want to get him hurt. I had a conversation with 5 Yard Lead the other day talking about Justin Fields. Justin Fields has been in the NFL for 3 years. In every season, he's missed time due to injury. So again, people want to get rid of Tua, the injury-prone quarterback, to bring in Justin Fields, the dual threat quarterback. But guess what? He's also injury-prone. When you're running around all that kind of stuff, dude, you're going to get hurt. It's a fact. Shout out to Josh Kaska from the Same Old Dolphin Show. Join us on Twitter. Listen, I have no issues with Justin Fields. To me, he still needs to develop as a passer.
You feel me?
The dual threat thing is great, but dude, develop as a passer, please.
Listen, bro. When people say Justin Fields, it's funny to me because you're going from, and I don't want to use the word elite passer. You're going from a great passer in Tua that is not mobile, in my opinion, to a great mobile quarterback. He's not elite. Justin Fields is not elite mobile, but he's just a great mobile quarterback to he doesn't exist as a passer. Kadeem, it was only 8 weeks ago when I said, I don't know. I don't think Justin Fields is good. Like, you know what I'm saying? I think Justin Fields just wants to do it himself. Like, he has DJ Moore, bro. He has Mooney over there. You know what I'm saying? Like, he had Claypool. So it's like, Justin Fields ain't it. Like, there is no way. And I understand. I want to be clear about this. I understand people's frustration with Tua not being mobile enough. I understand that 100%. And then someone's going to ask, well, don't you think you should have a quarterback that could play off script? And I'm going to be like, yes. My answer to that is yes. Do you think Tua is good off script? And my answer to that is no. But it doesn't mean you cannot win with a pocket passer quarterback. You know what I'm saying?
Purdy.
You know what I'm saying? Like it doesn't mean you can't. It's like people don't fathom the concept of you don't have to win one way. There are multiple ways to win. So for me, that way is you have this quarterback. So now you have to play to the strength of this quarterback, which is don't put them in bootlegs. Like you're not going to see Tua run out and naked bootlegs. You're not going to see quarterback options. So if you're not going to do that, you're going to keep Tua, protect him so you can have him shine in what he does best, which is dial it up. And how about this? When everybody says Tua is not an Oscar quarterback, you know who the number one passing quarterback is against the blitz? Go figure. Go figure. So you don't have to just scramble and get out of it to be successful against the blitz. You know what I'm saying? You don't have to be extending plays like everybody says. However, you can still be successful against the blitz. It's crazy to me.
Shout out to Josh. He says people are calling for Fields because his best asset is Tua's worst. That's it. He's not a fit in Miami as a team is currently constituted. And again, that's fair. Now, I saw people say, well, if Mike McDaniel can dial up this scheme for Tua, then what can he do for Justin Fields? That's another. So I don't know if you put it up, Charlie. That's another conversation to be had at some point down the line. I'm sure Mike McDaniel can build an offense around Justin Fields' strength. But again, you're
real
paying
quick,
for.
Real quick. Yeah. You about to go there. My bad. Go ahead. You about to do it. You about to say, go ahead.
So you're paying for a passer, and this like if you're going to pay, and again, this won't happen every single time, but it can happen far too often, in my opinion, more than it happened with Tua. Mike McDaniel is going to say, "Hey, this is the play, this is the read. I need to try and find Tyreek Hill or Jalen Waddle deep down the field. You're down against the Ravens. Find one of the guys down the field. Justin Fields is going to drop back and then start running. It's like, dude, what are you doing? Like, dude, please, what are you doing? Now, again, maybe, a dual threat quarterback in a Mike McDaniel system could be absolutely brilliant. Genuinely, I don't want to see that yet because for how good the dual threat quarterback was, Cam Newton, he's 34, been at the league for how many years, and his body broke down because you should not be taking those kind of hits at quarterback. It's the same reasons why running backs don't make it into their 30s because they get hit over and over and over again. And if you're a quarterback getting hit over and over and over again, like a Cam Newton, like Justin Fields, probably listen very, very quickly. There's a reason why Lamar Jackson doesn't run the way he used to. Because he wants to have a long career in the NFL. And he's not going to do that being a running quarterback.
Bro, I got to say this. It's disrespectful to say Justin Fields is better than Tua, bro. It's so disrespectful to say that. Because for everything Tua can't do that Justin Fields can do, Justin Fields cannot do what Tua can do. That's ludicrous. That's absurd, bro. And then so you're gonna have this guy can extend the play, and that guy can do things off script. I understand that, but can that guy have tight window throws? Can that guy throw for 4,600 yards passing? Can that guy do what Tua can do? You know what I'm saying? Yes. Tua cannot do what Josh Allen can, but I'll be real with you. I don't want Tua to do what Josh Allen can when it comes to them turnovers like that. You know what I'm saying? It's like, nah, bro, I don't want that. So it's a give and take. And it's like people trying to, I can't believe Justin Fields is in the conversation. I'm not going to entertain Justin Fields to Miami. That ain't never going to happen, bro. You genuinely believe Justin Fields can sit back and dice some stuff up with Waddle and Tyreek Hill, bro? You believe that? You know what I'm saying? Like, come on, man. The Dolphins had the best offense in the league, bro. And last year we had the 6th ranked offense in the league, bro. Like we're trending in the right direction. I understand we're not getting it done, but we're trending in the right direction.
So Cap says Ryan Tannehill made the playoffs in 1 year under Adam Gase. You guys really want to do this with me. Ryan Tannehill was injured that year. I remember it vividly because the Steelers blew our back out with J.J. at running back. So Ryan Tannehill essentially got the same. Right, so very, very, very funny. People say that Tua didn't get the Dolphins to the playoffs last year, but Ryan Tannehill got the Dolphins to the playoffs that year. It's one and the same thing. Both quarterbacks were injured in the playoffs, but both quarterbacks got the team to the playoffs. But both teams missed that playoff. So yes, Ryan Tannehill got the team to the playoffs, but didn't make the playoffs because he was injured. Ryan Tannehill left. made the
That's my dog.
playoffs with the Titans and won a playoff game. Like again,
Kadeem, my dog.
genuinely,
Kadeem, you my
I
dog,
am
bro.
I am ready for this summer because I am like I've genuinely seen it all. It is what it is. The one thing I will say about you said Tua and Josh Allen interception. I
Hold
say
on,
it
hold
was
on,
like,
hold on,
dude,
hold on,
what are you
hold on,
doing
hold
on
on,
this
hold on, hold on.
interception?
I don't
And
know. I don't know.
he
Hold on,
needs to
hold
clean
on.
up.
I don't know if it was my internet or your internet, but I missed that.
I was just
Yeah.
saying, so like you mentioned, yeah, can you hear me?
Mm-hmm.
Cool. So you mentioned Josh Allen interceptions and not wanting Tua to do that, something along those lines. Am I correct?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And I was just
Turnovers.
saying that
Well, I did say
turnovers, yeah,
interception. I meant turnovers. Yeah.
but like obviously Tua doesn't have the level of turnovers that Josh Allen does. But heading into next season, the Dolphins and Tua need to clear up these interceptions because they're starting to get stupid, they're starting to get annoying. I've said since last off season, at least once a game, Tua the throw is like, dude, that's just boneheaded, and it's getting picked off
Hear me
way
out.
too much.
Hear me out. Dak Prescott, my dog. Like I was on Dak early in his career. I supported Dak. You know how I was loud for Tua. I was loud. Like I've never retracted anything on Tua. Everyone knows I'm a Tua supporter. Like I go hard for Tua. I used to go hard for Dak when Dak was getting figured out. I'm like, nah, Dak is it. I got off the Dak train last year. I ain't gonna lie. I got off the Dak train last year. And he threw, I think Dak played like 12 games last year, maybe. Maybe he played 9 games. I can't remember how many games Dak played. And Dak threw like 14 picks, maybe 16 picks last season and didn't even play a full season. I'm like, yo, I don't know what happened to Dak. And it was not just the picks. It was the worst picks. You know what I'm saying? Because, like, again, we talked about, yo, you could throw picks. You know what I'm saying? All right, they got you. You know what I'm saying? All right, I see what's going on here. But Dak was throwing back-to-back picks. Like, bro, you didn't just do that, did you? You feel me? Like the dumbest picks. So when it got the the reason I'm talking about Dak is Dak was an MVP candidate this year. Bounce back. Like, that's the Dak I know. My bad. I got off the Dak bus. Dak proved me wrong. Like, he's back. You know what I'm saying? Dak is legit. I believe Dak is legit. Hold on. Here's my thing.
I'm off on the comments.
Here's my thing. When it comes to Tua and the picks, I don't believe they're as egregious as we make them out to be. There are some that are egregious, right? But it's like, bro, you got to be better. You can't do that. You know what I'm saying? Like, you can't do that. They're not the, oh, this is bad. We need a different quarterback. This dude is trash. You know what I'm saying? And people make it to be that way, and it's not that. So when it comes to Josh Allen's picks, he just can't help himself. Tua can help himself, bro. Like, bro, stop throwing jump balls to Braxton Berrios. You know what I'm saying? Like those, like 5 of the picks can be taken off of like out the stat if Tua would just not be foolish with the ball at times. So I think there's 2 things that I really want Tua to focus on. And for people like, oh, Tua, Charlie can't say nothing bad about Tua. Like, no, like, yeah, I'm a critique performance for sure. And put the assess the situation the way it's supposed to be assessed. Here are the 2 things that I want Tua to work on. And it's not even the picks, because I feel like both of these things will help the picks. One of the things that I want Tua to work on is checking the ball down, bro. You don't have to win the game in one pass every single time, bro. You know what I'm saying? You don't have to go for the kill shot, the headshot, dead. You don't have to do it. Peyton Manning says it all the time. You won't go broke taking a profit. If you check the ball down to Achane and get 4 or 5 yards at a time, there's a chance Achane breaks open for 30 one of them times. You know what I'm saying? So hold on. Check the ball.
But very quickly, that's one of the things that they have a go at Tua at. He's only throwing 2-yard passes and time
No.
taking
I'm not. Those are people who don't watch the game, though. Those are people who don't watch the game. So you can't lead the stat in most air yards per attempt and then say you only. So I don't have the response to the foolish people. I'm talking about the actual situation. If he's in the top 5 in air yards per game, he's not checking the ball down. And then we're watching the games and he's not checking the ball down and he's throwing it into danger. And sometimes he gets away with it. So that's one of the things I wanted to work on. Bro, check the ball down. Wide open receivers, check down receivers. Like, bro, just check it down. I understand that it got to you and you want to prove yourself like, oh, I could prove I could do this. I could do this. I could do this. Yo, you proved it, bro. You were MVP candidate twice in a row. You know what I'm saying? The second thing I want Tua to work on, bro, is mental health. I think he listens too much and he says he doesn't, but he does, bro. And you can tell in his posture. And I said this for multiple seasons. His body language is terrible when he's underperforming or when the team, he might not even be underperforming. It could be the team. Like, dang, they're going to come kill me. You know what I'm saying? Like, bro, I need Tua, and I can't say it's easy to do, but I need Tua to care less. He says he doesn't care. Bro, you care. I get it. I don't have the answers for you, but I just need you to be professional and figure a way out to not care about what the mob is saying on social media, because it's in his body language. It's in his, you can see it in his face, like on the sideline during the loss or post-game conference, that it's affecting his mental health. And I understand that. You know what I'm saying? I just, some way, shape, or form, I need dog to be stronger. But yeah, man, mentally. But and then that's, I don't know how you fix that. I don't, because there's people who've been broken like that. Like, he's broke. Like, and I'm not saying Tua is broke, but people have been broken, and Tua has successfully made it out of the Flores era and regained his footing to be a great quarterback in NFL. So he was almost broken, but that mental health thing is a real thing. But go ahead.
So I'm going to work backwards in these comments. Cap says, if we were so successful against a blitz, please explain to me Tennessee. I'd explain Tennessee as being up 14 with 3 minutes left and defense giving up back-to-back touchdowns and a 2-point conversion. And yes, the Dolphins did get the ball back and messed up, but let's not pretend that we were up 14, which meant the defense had to get us up and didn't do that. So that's how I'm going to explain Tennessee, but feel free to come back on that one. This one for you, Charlie. He says, Mooney, you came at me with Mooney.
Yeah, all right. Mooney had a down season last year. Look at Mooney's season before last year. Mooney's legit. My dog got a judge machine inside the house, catching passes inside the house. That, you know what I'm saying? But I get it. You know what I'm saying? Like, you don't. It's what have you done for me lately? You know what I'm saying? So Mooney ain't did nothing lately. I get it.
Cap says, Kadeem, if you know you have an injury-prone quarterback, why are you going to pay him? I think I just boxed you in, sir. So to that, I will say Tua just played a full season without getting hurt once. And if you can name me any quarterback who hasn't been hurt over the past 3 years, so, okay, let's go trade for CJ Stroud, who missed time this year for a concussion. Let's go get Justin Fields, who missed time this year because he was injured. I don't think Mahomes was hurt this year, but he was hurt, last year with an ankle injury, so he missed time last year. Genuinely, like Brock Purdy, he's missed time over the past few years.
Mahomes missed times, like he didn't start a game. That's missing time. I'm saying,
I don't think Mahomes missed a game this year. I don't think, but I know he did last year, like an ankle injury.
I didn't know he missed. I know he missed the game last year. I'm not saying that he didn't. I'm just saying.
I'm saying if you can name any quarterback who has not missed a single game over the past, I'll even go 2 years, and who you want to replace Tua with, genuinely let me know. And I will say, cool, fair enough. Listen, everyone gets hurt. It's the NFL. Everyone. But to say don't pay, again, at the start of the season, the question or the thing was, Tua, prove to me that you can stay healthy for a full year and then we'll talk. And he did that. And then the goalpost moved because of the playoff game.
Bro. Not only did he do it, bro, he did it and was an MVP candidate and led the league in passing. Like, put all the accolades on there. Not only did he do that and he was healthy and performed, and we lost. It's all right, bro. Like, it's okay.
And then there's also Cap. Sorry, this one's for you, Charlie. This is where you and me butt heads. I'm not saying to burn it down. I'm saying the complete opposite. Get me some more competition in that quarterback room, and you guys are intimidated by it. So, Charlie, I'm going to ask this question for you because I know the answer. But before I ask you the question, I said weeks ago in this draft to draft Tua's brother, give him some competition, and not just because is to his brother because he just took a good quarterback. Charlie, what's a quarterback that made two Chase 24 last year? Two Chase 24 list last year, and you were banging the table for the Dolphins to bring in for genuine competition for Tua in case he got hurt. What was his name?
Jaron Hall.
Over here on Go Time Dolphins, Charlie has said every single year since the Dolphins drafted Tua, draft a quarterback in the NFL draft. Every single year, draft a quarterback in case you hit. That is something I know for a fact Charlie has said. So this whole we don't want to give him competition. No, we do. We're not saying go and pay someone 10 million, but draft a quarterback.
I got something better for you, Kadeem. Since you just shot me an alley, I'm gonna shoot you an alley. You was like, hey, someone come tell me what quarterback you want other than Tua. We got Cap for Life right here. Shout out to Cap for Life. We appreciate you here on Go Time Dolphins. Cap for Life said, oh, this is wrong comment, my bad. Cap for Life said, bring in competition. Cap for Life, you on the comments right now. Who do you want the Dolphins to bring in to be Tua's competition? We could do this right now. We ain't even gotta wait. You know what I'm saying? So just shoot us a name or two and say bring in competition. Like who is the competition that you think the Dolphins should bring in against Tua? Like we gotta. Matter of fact, we'll go into bonus time. Give you a little time to think about it. But I love this podcast, man. We've been out, and I'm a save face real quick for Kadeem. It was my fault that we couldn't record. I'm on the road right now. I'm doing a lot of stuff, and I don't even like it really sound like, oh, well, y'all boys is hiding. Not, bro, we was not hiding. Like, believe me, we almost did it from my cell phone. You know what I'm saying? It was gonna be bad. It was gonna be bad audio and video from a cell phone. We were still gonna do it, but nah, man. Like, this is what we want to do. We want to make 3 appearances a week still. It might not be in the setting that I wanted to be in, but listen, we're about to get into bonus time, and we still have a hat, not a hat giveaway. We still have a giveaway that we haven't done yet. We can't do it today either. We're gonna get to it, but Cap for Life, you on the clock, bro. Like, who's the quarterback that you want to bring in for competition against Tua? Y'all. Well, we could even put you on the podcast and chop it up if you want, but not today. But y'all know what time it is. Stay positive. Test negative. For Kadeem Simmons, I'm Charlie Touche. Thank you for tuning in this time. Make sure you catch us next time on Go Time already.
Gotta make them lose their mind when it's your time. And it's showtime. Going all out when it's go time. I ain't wasting no time. Gotta make them lose their mind when it's showtime. Cause it's your time. Lay it on the line when it's go time. Don't waste no time. Gotta make them lose their mind when it's your time. And it's showtime. Going all out when it's go time. I ain't wasting no time.
Hey, hold on, Kadeem. I want to, I don't really do this. I try to let you do your thing. But shout out again to Cat for Life. And we're not attacking nobody. But he said, I said we're trending in the right direction. He said the right direction is not the bottom of the ocean. But we don't have a top 5 pick. All right. We're not paying a quarterback $52 million a year and have a top 5 pick. You know who is? The Chargers. That's the bottom of the ocean. The bottom of the ocean is not one game out of the 2 seed and losing a playoff game. That's not being in the bottom of the ocean. I know it might feel like it as a Dolphin fan, bro. And I'm not telling you how to feel, but I'm just, if you think we're in the bottom of the ocean because we haven't won a championship and there's actually teams who are picking in the top 5 and paying a quarterback $52 million a year, perspective is a wonderful thing, bro. Like, we were 1 game out of a 2 seed. We didn't get it done. I'm not saying everything is hunky-dory, because soon it's going to get to where you do have to burn it all down if you don't have changes. And right now it's not it. Like, everyone said, oh, McDaniel inherited a playoff team. Technically, McDaniel did not inherit a playoff team. He didn't. Did Flores go to the playoffs, Kadeem?
No.
All right, then. You know what I'm saying? Like, so McDaniel did not inherit a playoff team. McDaniel came in and took us to the playoffs. The first season, by the way, took us to the playoffs. The second season, by the way, McDaniel was the first coach to have a top 10 offense since Dave wants that maybe, or even Jimmy Johnson. Go figure. You know what I'm saying? But people want to get rid of him already. So nah, bro. Like, listen, man, we're trending in the right direction, and I'll stand on that. Dang, bro, Cat for Life ain't even in the comments no more, bro. I was hoping he came with the quarterback.
I'm sure we'll be
I was
back
hoping he
soon.
came. I was hoping he came with a quarterback.
Previously, he said touche, Kadeem, touche. That was a good comeback. And again, like this is like I'm happy to have these discussions. We're both happy to have these discussions. We've said, listen, Charlie put a clip out saying anyone that wants to come on there and talk about Tua's worst games and all that kind of stuff, you're welcome to come on. There's so much time this off season, live, anything you want, where we can have a discussion about the direction you think the Dolphins should go in. I'm happy to have that conversation because it breeds ideas, all that kind of stuff. Brett says Jimmy G. I ain't trying to see Jimmy G in Miami, but I know
he's trolling, bro. Dog is trolling. Big troll.
IMAX says, I actually think Russell Wilson with a head coach that wanted him from the jump would be good. Don't know of anyone else. IMAX mentioned Russell Wilson before. What I will say with Russell Wilson and any quarterback as well, the Dolphins, in my opinion, the Dolphins are a quarterback away from winning the Super Bowl. And with all the people who are leaving / need to get paid, and the people say the Dolphins have no depth, which is somewhat true. If you're going to go and find a quarterback who's basically not going to be a rookie, in my opinion, how are you going to find the money to pay that quarterback and then build the depth that this Dolphins team needs? Like, to me, the two things aren't going to work. But we'll see what happens. Cap is here. He says you won't go broke taking a profit is what Chris Greer should use as motto these next few months. And listen, I'm genuinely excited for the free agency and draft podcasts we're about to have because like it's going to be fun. And we haven't discussed this. I want to get other people on the show as well to see what they would do because hey, it's our team. We might not make the final decision, but at the end of the day, I'm interested to hear what other guys think. And if we disagree, let's discuss it as adults and respectfully. I think part of the reason, and just my opinion, the Dolphins fan base is so toxic right now is because you can't have a discussion with most of them. It turns into a slagging off match. It starts getting personal. People start calling out families and stuff like that. Listen, everyone has an opinion. We can disagree. That's all good.
Second worst fan base in the NFL, in my opinion. We have a franchise, a historic franchise, and a historically bad fan base, and I'm not here for it. I ain't even gonna lie to you. Dog, a Bills fan got killed at a Dolphins game, bro. A Patriots fan got killed at a Dolphins game, bro. Like this is dumb, dog. It's stupid. It's unacceptable. If I'm being honest with you, you know what I'm saying? It's just I'm not here for it. But anyway, go ahead, Kadeem.
No, it's.
Oh no, you know what? Shout out to, I think, was that Jason Keck with the quarterback top pick? Listen, how about this? I want to say this. I want to say this. Hold on. I want to say this. What doesn't help the Dolphins is that the Bengals had the second pick in the NFL draft and made it to the Super Bowl. I think the same year or the year after. I can't remember. I used to be able to remember, but I don't remember. But the Bengals had like
the second pick.
The first pick.
Oh yeah.
Had the first pick in the NFL draft and either made it to the Super Bowl. No, it was the second year. That's what it was.
Yeah.
It was the second year after they had the first pick of the NFL draft. They made it to the Super Bowl, bro. That's impressive. You know what I'm saying? The turnaround time is impressive. The Philadelphia Eagles went 7-9 the year prior to winning the Super Bowl. So you don't have to be a juggernaut to be a Super Bowl contender. You know what I'm saying?
The 49ers did the same thing as well.
Shout out to our friend, our GTD affiliate, Josh Kasker. Me and him, we have fun going back and forth with the contender and pretender conversation. Funny thing is, you don't have to be a contender to win a Super Bowl. You could be a pretender all season and then end up winning the Super Bowl. It just happens. Like, it doesn't happen all the time, but there's teams that do it. There's no blueprint, right? So here we go with my dog, not Kadeem's dog, not Sherrod Steve's dog, not Josh Casker's dog, not Aaron the Brain's dog, not Thomas Valentine's dog, not LB's dog, not Bert's dog, not Charlie Wilson's dog, but my dog, CJ Stroud. Second pick of the draft, rookie, could arguably be, not arguably, he's the rookie of the year. And he takes his team to the playoffs and gets a playoff win. You know what I'm saying? So it's just not a good look for the Dolphins to not be successful and go through all these years and not have anything to show for it. But my thing is, yeah, we had to take a step back with Flores, take 2 steps forward with McDaniel, and now we're trending in the right direction. My biggest issue is that people act like we're not trending in the right direction. People still act like we're not doing anything whatsoever. Like we're still not in the playoffs, or our quarterback is a bottom 20 quarterback. Like that's what the people still feel like they're still saying stuff like that. And I'm like, yo, what are y'all watching to have these to feel like that? That's crazy to me.
It's so Cap says, I agree 1000%, Charlie. You can't say you're not on the internet listening and saying you don't care about what's going on. You sure care about Nick Saban retiring during a quarterback meeting. And then there's loads of comments from IMAX, which is kind of like draft stuff. So he says, offensive line, defensive line, LBs and DBs in the draft. We need offensive line bad. No real quality depth on O-line. If we beef up our O-line correctly, McDaniel wouldn't have to scheme the ball out of Tua's hands in 2 seconds every play. He then says, and so now I see why Flores wanted Jordan Love. Listen, genuinely, Jordan Love under Flores will be the exact same as Tua under Jordan Love. Flores were just not meant for rookie quarterbacks, and that's fine. It's not for everyone. Hooked Up Joe says, I'm with Charlie on this one. And then Cap says the definition of insanity is complaining about coaching when you justified your last coach for coaching. Let McDaniel finish the job. There's an element of truth to that, but I think that the atmosphere around Brian Flores was just so bad that it's crazy. But listen, I've needed this. I've needed to talk Dolphins with you, Charlie. I've needed to talk Dolphins with everyone in the chat. This offseason is going to be, again, one of the most annoying ones because we went from the Dolphins have got everything right. We're going to win the Super Bowl, or we're going to do all of this kind of stuff, to losing the playoffs, to Chris Greer's got to go, Mike McDaniel's got to go, Tua's got to go, all of this kind of stuff. And essentially, it's going to be a summer of more questions than answers. And I think essentially we won't know the answer until basically this time next year. Because let's be honest, it doesn't matter what the Dolphins do during the season. If the Dolphins don't win a playoff game next year, I'm not talking Super Bowl.
No, it ain't even a playoff game. Go ahead.
No.
Because we need more than a playoff game, bro.
I'm saying, but if the Dolphins don't win a playoff game next year, I think they're going to be an even bigger legitimate claim that the Dolphins need to start again. If the Dolphins win one playoff game,
I don't believe that.
But I also think the Dolphins are in a situation where the Dolphins could win one playoff game, and depending on who they beat, people just go, "Well, it doesn't mean anything because you haven't beaten Mahomes or Allen or blah blah." Like genuinely, and I'm not taking it away from CJ Stroud and his playoff win because it was a great playoff win. Charlie, if the Dolphins had beaten the Pittsburgh Steelers this year, or even the Joe Flacco-led Cleveland Browns, and then lost the following week, do you think people would have been saying keep Tua? It's like, see, once again, he can't do it in the black. It's the goalposts are always moving. But it's going to be a very, very long offseason, and I genuinely wouldn't want to do it with anyone outside of you, Charlie.
I appreciate that, man. And I'm going to end it with this. Remember we had the elite quarterback conversation, Kadeem?
Yeah.
And we were like, and I said, there's only so many elite quarterbacks in the league, right?
Yep.
I said there's only 2, actually. It was only Patrick Mahomes and Aaron Rodgers. And this I'll end with this. I said Tua is not elite, but he's the second best quarterback in the league on my power rankings. Arguably third, second or third, in my opinion. Doesn't mean I don't think he's elite. And I'm on the record saying Tua is not an elite quarterback. But Jason Keck wins with this one. Jason Keck with the comment of the day for me. You know who else didn't win the Super Bowl? 31 other teams. I guess they all need an elite quarterback. And that's legit where I'm at with it. Like, bro, there's only one winner. And I guarantee every team in the playoffs that lose ain't going to talk about burning it down. And it's crazy that we have all this momentum as a franchise, and people can't see that you can't expect the same when you lose key pieces on your team, bro. And not only lose key pieces, but your two best receivers are playing like limping around the field. Hey, do what you wish. You can be who you want to be and have the unrealistic expectations for your favorite team. I'm just not gonna put that on my mental health. That's wild to me. But that's all I got, Kadeem. And you know what? I'm lying. One more thing. For the people and people who I rock with, you know what I'm saying? For the people who say Tua's just gonna need too much help around them to be successful. You know what I say to that, Kadeem?
What's that?
Even if you did get all the help, whoever thinks all the help, whatever the help Tua needs, if 7 of those players are hurt in the playoff games, he's still not going to be successful. It's going to be very difficult. So it's like, yo, you can still build a team, bro, and do everything right. It's still football, and people still going to get hurt, and it's still going to be tough. Like, bro, if for anyone who thinks you have to build the perfect roster, I can assure you that there are teams who have won. Not even teams. Like, probably every year a team won the Super Bowl probably wasn't the best roster in the NFL. Actually. And then, you know what? I will go to bat for that. The past 10 years, and this is a whole different episode. We'll take this to another episode. But the past 10 years, do we believe the team with the best roster on paper won the Super Bowl? And I would dispute it. I would say probably 2 of those years, the team with the best roster on paper probably won the Super Bowl. And it might not be any, but that's all I'm saying. But yeah, man. So you could build whatever you want to build. You still got to play the games. You still got to do it. And it's football, bro.
Guys, thank you for joining us. We shall see you soon. We won't keep it this long. And once an off season it is going to be. But sorry about that. Rude of me. But guys, take care. Ladies, gentlemen, boys, girls of all ages, we shall see you on the next one. Peace.